ABC News with Rachel Hayter. Firefighters are battling to contain a blaze that's taken off in Perth South. An emergency warning is in place for southern parts of Atwell, northern parts of Auburn Grove and western parts of Banjup in the city of Coburn. Authorities say for people in homes on and nearby Prosperity Loop, it's too late to leave and they need to shelter in place. For all others in the warning area, authorities say they should leave now if it's safe to do so. The fire is out of control and unpredictable. Aerial support has been sent to assist ground crews. The Western Australian Premier is standing by his call for coronavirus to be eliminated nationwide after the term he used was rejected by a number of his counterparts. Mark McGowan has come under fire after suggesting New South Wales was out of step with other states striving to eliminate the virus. That categorisation was quickly dismissed by other leaders, including Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews, who claimed the nation's strategy is aggressive suppression. Mr McGowan says it's just semantics, with the aim being to eliminate coronavirus from the community across the country.
The aim is to ensure there is no virus in the community. That is the National Cabinet agreed position. No virus in the community. I use the phrase eliminate it in the community. Other people use the phrase suppress it in the community. But the aim is get rid of it in the community.
Malaysia's Prime Minister has gone on live TV and told the country the COVID-19 state of emergency declared there is not a political coup and the government will continue to function. Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin, who rules a tenuous coalition, says the King has granted the emergency declaration and Parliament has been suspended till mid-year. Mr Muhyiddin says the declaration could last until August.
Let me assure you that the civilian government will continue to function. The emergency proclaimed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is not a military coup and curfew will not be enforced.
San Diego Zoo in California says several of its gorillas have tested positive for coronavirus. The California Governor Gavin Newsom says the source of the infection is still being investigated. It's the first reported case of non-human primates having the virus in the US. The zoo's executive director, Lisa Peterson, says they followed all guidelines to keep the workers and animals safe.
They're doing okay. They're experiencing some mild symptoms, and we continue to observe them. But they're drinking, they're eating, and they're interacting with one another. We suspect that the gorillas got this virus from an asymptomatic team member.
Several supporters of President Donald Trump have been arrested at the Capitol building in the US state of Washington as preparations continue to lock down Washington, D.C. ahead of Joe Biden's inauguration. The FBI has issued warnings that pro-Trump supporters are mobilising to protest at federal sites across the country, including at state capitals and courthouses. Democratic representative for the state of Washington, Pat Sullivan, says the country has been brought low by the attack at the seat of democracy.
Watching the events unfold in Washington, D.C. last week and moving into this week really broke my heart. It made me sad for democracy. I know that we are better than that here in the state of Washington, that we can work together to get the people's work done.
The home share app Airbnb has announced it will review Washington, D.C. reservations made for the next week or so and cancel bookings by anyone involved in last week's riots at the Capitol. The company says anyone associated with a hate group will have their reservation cancelled and be banned from the platform. Airbnb has joined a growing list of US companies seeking to distance themselves from anyone involved in the unrest at the Capitol last week. Back home, Western Australian police have taken away a four-wheel drive as part of their investigation into the death of a man just north of Perth. Here's Nick Perpich.
Police have been on the scene at a dirt track leading into the sand dunes near the ocean off Sovereign Drive since midnight. A body was found not far from a low steel gate which blocks off access to the track from the road. Two separate neighbours who did not want to be identified say police spoke to a young man for several hours who says he found the body. The young man's four-wheel drive was parked on the roadside of the track. Police later took him away for further questioning and a flatbed truck removed the car.
ABC News.
You're listening to ABC News Radio.
Hello, I'm Clive Hunson. Coming up, the opposition takes aim at